Oh, yes. I was looking at these, what's known as the Washington State Criminal Code. Yes. Title 9A RCWs, and I haven't gotten any phone calls or emails. I'm a little concerned that you don't realize the necessity of enforcing the laws. I thought we'd look at some of these again about having knowledge of someone committing a crime and then refusing to arrest them for it. Yes. Now, there is a lot of laws that I haven't gone through, and there's the defrauding of a public a utility. Yeah, I thought that was an important one. I was going to talk about that this morning, but I decided to not talk about it. Yeah, but let's say you released a lot of static and you had to be on the electric grid, and you had to sew a lizard into your ass so as to be on those that are citizens. Yes. I've been electrocuted numerous times while being in Clallam County. Somebody put the ass of the electric grid on me, thinking it was funny when they were electrocuting me. But that would be considered defrauding a public utility. The public utility district is a public utility. Yeah. Now we could look at 9A.61. Yes. Mhm. And it's probably quite a ways down here. It's probably like page 104 maybe. I don't know. 9A civil infraction. Yeah. Somebody have control of the electric grid, the toasters. Did you pay for all that electricity that you've been leaking for the last 20 years? And the public utilities district said, well, we just really don't talk about certain things. But I think anytime you defraud a public utility, you're defrauding the citizens that are paying their electric bills. Maybe you could get me the electric bills. Now let's go through the PUD today and ask ourselves is 9A reckless burning in the first degree? Yes. Is the sheriff's department in control of the electric grid? I mean, it seemed to me that you had to be. It's an actual crime to defraud a public utility of any of their actual assets or services. Could you get me the last 20 years of electric bills for every residence and every business? Now, when I get to suing you, sheriff, those that are detectives in the sheriff's office, because I'm going to take everything you own and I'm going to put you in prison. If I find out that you have a lizard in your ass and you had to be on the electric grid, I'm going to say that you're complicit in the crime of defrauding public utilities. Now, depending on the amount of electricity that you've been stealing for the last 20 years, yes, 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 you and your fellow sheriffs that do the investigating of crimes, okay, if you did use the electric grid and you did have knowledge of the electricity, you could go to prison for multiple decades for defrauding public utilities. I know it sounds funny for those that are detectives in the sheriff's departments, but this whole concept of taking electricity without paying for it, yes, so that you could, so that you could be on them, so that you could light yourself up, as in making little fur babies because of that lizard. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You got electric getting. Why don't you get me the electric bills of every person in the United States? I'd like to know how much the public utility districts are being defrauded for the theft of electricity for those on the 440, oops, the 220. The 110 is something I really dislike. Yes, yes. I've been on the 110 before and I didn't sew it into myself, but somebody decided to sew it in. And it stinks. Yes. And human bodies. You remember when you like to change the direction of electricity and you lit my feet up? Oh, made me a little hot on the bottom of my tootsies. Thinking if we change the direction of the electric grid so that the feet of the citizens are not grounded, yes, we'll have the electricity go off the top of their head as if there was a crown on them. And we'll control them. Yes, we will. Now, exactly all that electricity that's going the wrong direction in my physical body, yes, Are you paying for that? I mean, is it being accounted for in some way? Because how much electricity does it take to really control somebody so that you can control what they say, what they think, and what they do? Well, well, if you added up the total number of citizens, yes, and then the total amount of theft of actual electricity by those that said they had to have control of the electricity. I just wanted to know how many millions of possible dollars. Well, ooh, Sheriff, have you been investigating the electric grid? Now I know. Nothing like working with an investigator that wonders why it is that he's always grabbing for the electricity. Pow, 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 pow. Little difficult to get out of bed. Oops, the polygraph. Ooh. I like the polygraph because a lot of those in the family, they can control their heart rate. They could sit with somebody that they know is going to have them put in prison and is going to sue them for everything.